Hope everybody's doing well. I got a day off during the middle of the week. We got rained out. So I was like, you know what? I'll take and record something. This is gonna be music. Apparently it's Brazilian. Now this was actually suggested to me by somebody in comments on my last videos, me just talking. And so yeah, that's what we're gonna do. This is Negro Drama, Racionais. I don't know how you would say the last one, but I guess normally there's an MC after that. So from what I can gather, this is just baseline level research here. You know, about 5 minutes before I did. I've seen some people draw like there's not really a whole lot of, I guess, comparisons between Brazilian type hip hop and American hip hop. I've seen the correlation because they talk about, I guess this group talks a lot about racism, politics, and stuff like that. Things that plague corruption, things that plague Brazil and have plagued Brazil in the past, and I guess in large part still do today. Just again, 5 minutes worth of research at some of the issues that the country is facing and stuff like that. And the only correlation that I've seen made between any U.S. hip hop groups and Brazilian was them with NWA, which to me that's a high mark, because as far as conscious societal hip hop is concerned here in the U.S., NWA is really some pioneers within that. So granted, you know, that gangster rap or whatever you want to call it, but it was really more so than that, trying to take in the message of the plight of African Americans here in the U.S. So yeah, that being said, I'm gonna bring the lyrics up on, well, this is got English lyrics, but I'm gonna take and bring up lyrics on my side as well. All right, let's get to it, shall we?
Muito amor pros irmãos que estão presentes nesse domingo frio. Já é outono em São Paulo. Bela Vista na área. Coab 2 na área. Guanazes na área. São Miguel na área. São Mateus na área. Sem palavra, cidade de Tiradentes na área. É isso mesmo, rapaz. E tem mais, hein?
Bro, that comes in musically it's got a bit of nefariousness to it.
Entre o sucesso e a lama, dinheiro, problemas, invejas, luxo, fama, negro drama. Cabelo crespo, a pele escura, ferida, chaga, a procura da cura, negro drama. Tenta ver e não vê nada, não ser uma estrela assim, longe meio ofuscada. Sente o drama, o preço, a cobrança, no amor, no ódio, a insana vingança, negro drama. Eu sei quem drama e quem tá comigo, o drama que eu carrego pra não ser mais um preto fudido. O drama da cadeia e favela, túmulo, sangue.
Number one, I love the beat. Number two, just starting it off lyrically so far. Now, with this right here, the drama of prison and stuff, one of the things I did read about within the research, with a little bit of research that I did, like I'm gonna take and dive a little bit further into it. I guess Brazil as a country itself, but I mean, it being in a Portuguese colony and things of that nature, there's a lot of different dynamics that I'm sure have carried over from that time, but also because of the native tribes and everything, tribes that are there, that were there previously. And of course, you get colonists mixing and stuff like that. I don't know if slavery played any kind of role, but it being established as a colony when it did, I'm sure it did. So again, you know, it's bringing in race into the mix. And to be honest with you, from an outsider, like anything we see from Brazil, here in the U.S. It's either has to take and do with rainforest, beautiful beaches and stuff like that, and that's about the extent of what I see or what I've seen. But there being vestiges of racism and stuff like that, or even a stronghold of racism, it's kind of one of those things. Again, you not as an outsider looking in, you don't associate with Brazil. So, but I was reading, one of the things I did read about was the fact that there was a prison. 111 prisoners were killed by police there at a prison. Was it Sao Paulo or something, if I'm not mistaken? Like, even if it's in response to a riot, holy Jesus! They're in a prison. It's self-contained. You let it fizzle out a little bit. Let pull all the guards. Let it fizzle out some. But 111, I'm sure that probably went over like a lead balloon. And the optics of it, regardless of what happened, you've already got. There's already one of the things that I do know that it is known for is corruption. That's one of the things that, like the rainforest being at risk there in Brazil. One of the reasons why is government corruption and taking money from corporations that taking to do the land clearing and stuff like that, cutting down trees. So yeah, just so far the lyrics on this though, it's the price demands love and hate, the insane vengeance. Like, just it doesn't set itself up for warm and fuzzy. You know what I'm saying? So, here we go.
Sente o drama, o preço, a cobrança no amor, no ódio, a insana vingança, negro drama. Eu sei que drama e quem tá comigo. O drama que eu carrego pra não ser mais um preto fudido. O drama da cadeia e favela. Túmulo, sangue, sirene, choro de tela. Passageiro do Brasil, São Paulo, agonia. Que sobrevivem meia zorras e covardia. Periferias, vielas.
Talking about being I don't know if he's at prison there, but again, Sao Paulo, but survives through mess, cowardice. Like, just that survives through mess and cowardice. Is it cowardice from others or cowardice from the inside? Like, it's not painting a very... Again, you're not getting a warm and fuzzy feeling, and this feels introspective, or at least lyrics do. So, Jesus Christ, man.
Periferias, vielas, cortiço. Você deve tá pensando que você tem a ver com isso. Desde o início, por ouro e prata. Olha quem morre, então veja você quem mata. Recebe o mérito, a farda que pratica o mal. Ver o pobre preso ou morto já é cultural. Histórias, registros, escritos. Não é conto nem fábula, lembra o mito. Não, foi sempre dito que preto não tem vez. Então, olha o castelo e não foi você quem fez, cuzão. Eu sou irmão do meus luta de batalha. Eu era carne, agora sou a própria navalha. Tchim, um brinde pra mim. Sou exemplo de vitórias, trajetos e glórias. O dinheiro tira o homem da miséria, mas não pode arrancar de dentro dele a favela. São poucos que entram em campo pra vencer. A alma guarda o que a mente tem que esquecer. Olho pra trás, vejo...
The soul keeps what the mind forgets. Holy crap, dude, that is... Wow. Because you can come from nothing and make something of yourself. But there's the stuff that you went through. Like, you might forget portions of things, but that scars it internally you will carry for a lifetime. And again, we got some historic... We're going to take a look at the history of Brazil now. Just off of the fact that now I'm kind of interested, because this is it's introspective, but it's very scathing. you take and go after the people in uniform. So you got military, but you also got, you know, police wear uniforms and stuff like that. We got the racial stuff, and like it's very scathing, and taking back historical for gold and stuff like that. But you know, basically, it's built on the backs of his people, and it's, bro.
Estrada que eu trilhei, mocota. Quem teve lado a lado de quem só ficou na bota. Entre as frases, fases e várias etapas do quem é quem, dos mano e das mina pra cá. Negro drama de estilo, pra ser se for, tem que ser se tremer é milho. Entre o gatilho e a tempestade, sempre a provar que sou homem e não covarde. Que Deus me guarde, pois eu sei que ele não é neutro. Vigia os ricos, mas ama os que vêm do gueto. Eu visto preto, por dentro e por fora. Guerreiro, poeta entre o tempo e a memória. Ora, nessa história vejo dólar em vários pilares. Falo pro mano pra que não morra e também não mate. O tic-tac não espera, veja o ponteiro. Essa estrada venenosa, cheia de morteiro. Pesadelo, é um elogio pra quem vive na guerra. Paz nunca existiu. No clima quente, a minha gente soa frio. Vi pretinho, seu caderno era um fuzil.
Bro, the poetry and the painted picture through lyrics with this, holy shit. Holy shit. I'm gonna try not to take and stop this much more. Yo, I'm blown away just by, again, just this. Outside of the recommendation that I got in my comments, just this, the lyrics and the painted picture through the lyrics. It's so heavy. It is so heavy, and it's so... Makes you feel. Like, I don't know anything about it, but it's like, Jesus Christ, because it's such a disheartening view of how his world exists. That's heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking.
Olha só quanto Negro Drama reunido na Zona Leste nessa tarde de noite de domingo, olha só. Essa é pra você, porque essa é pra você. Essa é pra você, porque essa é pra você. Essa é pra você, descendente de escravo, que não teve direito à indenização. Olha só, aí o filme, uma negra, uma criança nos braços, solitária na floresta de concreto e aço. Veja, olha outra vez o rosto da multidão. Uma multidão é um moço sem rosto e coração. Em São Paulo, terra de arranha-céu, a garoa, a carne, a torre de papel. Família brasileira, dois contra o mundo. Na solteira de um comichão, vagabundo. Câmera sou gravando, a cena vai o bastardo. Mas o filho pardo, sem parto. Ei, senhor DJ, eu sei bem que você é sozinho. Você não aguenta sozinho, você não aguenta presente sequer. E a favela ouviu, mas também tem uns que Red Bull, tem que fugiu. Admitou, esses carros é bonito, sim, eu não sei fazer. Internet, videocassete, os carros loucos, atrasado eu tô, pouco sinto. Eu acho só que tem que ser jovem sujo e eu não me encaixo. Eu sou problema de montão de carnaval. A carnaval eu vim da só, eu sou leão. Tô demais pro seu quintal. Problema com o escalo, eu tenho mil fita. É inacreditável, mas seu filho não se imita. No meio de vocês ele é o mais esperto. De que fala gíria não, dialeto. Esse não é mais seu rock. Subiu, entrei pelo seu rádio também. Cê nem viu, mas é isso, era aqui.
And this almost seems, just this whole second bit right here seems to be very much to the powers that be, like, hey, look, you've tried to keep us down, but look, your own kids imitate us. They're trying to take and beat us. So you've kept us down for this long. You've kept me down for this long, but I'm taking shit over. Bro, that's such a thumb to the nose of those in power, those that, and the system as a whole. That's another thing. This is fantastic. This is absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. Oh my God.
Então você dizia, seu filho quer ser preto. ironia, cola o pôster do tio Paco aí, que tal? Que cê diz? Você sente o negro drama, vai, tenta ser feliz. É bacana que eu te vejo tão bom assim. O que cê vê, o que cê faz, o que cê fez por mim. Eu recebi seu tique, quer dizer que te diz. Bota céu aberto e parede, madeira e te diz. Vergonha, eu não morri, eu tô vivão, mesmo aqui você não passa quando o mar vermelho abrir. Eu sou homem duro do gueto brau. Oba, aquele louco que não pode errar. Aquele que você odeia amar. Desses dedos de pele pá, desse funk, e de onde vem os diamantes. Calama, valeu, negro drama.
Bruh, what? That was fantastic. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. That was just absolutely, and the thing is, I have to take a look now. I have to look at more, not only the culture of Brazil, but I need to take a look at the history of Brazil. Like I said, I did a scant 5 minutes worth of research before I looked at this video. Only because I was like, I want to know, because normally stuff like I'm not going to be recommended something the way I was recommended this and 2 other movies without there being some kind of cultural or societal wrong that's been done. It's one of the reasons why whenever I started taking and doing this channel, I was reacting to music. 90% of what I looked at was hip-hop grime artists from there in the UK. And their social consciousness mirrored a lot of what was being said here within the 80s. This feels just because race relations, regardless of what the media shows for here in the US, they're way different where I live. They're 1,000 times better where I live than whenever I was growing up. There's things now that, like mixed couples, you did not see that where I live when I was growing up. And it's because a lot of the old people were still around. A lot of them have died off. We've, as a people, as a whole, here in the South, number one, us youngins seen through the stupidity, either through going to school, going to work, and just meeting people that have more melanin than I do. You know what I mean? And like you see through the bullshit, and as a result, your society changes for the better. Things are not perfect and never will be here in the US. It's just reality of things, right? I mean, things, it's crazy because just the way things have changed since I was a child till now, as far as race and stuff like that is concerned. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Like on the street level, talking with folks, interacting with people, you don't see what's portrayed. You just don't. You don't see it. You get small pockets of idiots still, but they're few and far between. This right here sounds more scathing, in my opinion, just with the poetry, the way it's brought across, the poetic way it's brought across, than what a lot of the 80s hip-hop here that brought forth social issues that needed to change to take and have those discussions and things like that in much more scathing and personal of a way, in my opinion. Like, it's just not only to touch on the historical part of things, but also, you know, the way they're taking and feel about their growing up and the way things still are, and at the end, basically thumbing the nose, you know, just a big F you. Like, hey, try to hold us down, but your kids want to be us. That like that right there is the biggest thumbing of the nose I think I've ever heard. Like it's crazy. That was holy cow. But that's how you sometimes. The sad thing is, it's one of the great things about, in my opinion, art as a whole, whether it be musically or anything of that nature. I don't care if it's movies, TV, books. If you want to take and push a conversation forward and things are still charged, things are still just not where they should be, you use your voice, you use your artistic ability to do so. This, like, something like this should have taken sparked massive conversation. This was fantastic. From somebody that does not, again, 5 minutes of research before I reacted to this. Just absolutely stunningly awesome. Absolutely enjoys it. I would be taking looks at other stuff, taking as far as just the culture, the history, and kind of what's going on in Brazil. You know, corruption and stuff like that. Because I do know that is one of the things I did kind of have in the back of my mind, because reading about different things. But again, racism isn't something that I associate with Brazil, and it's a racism towards black people, unfortunately, in a lot of places that were built off of the backs of slaves, is something that, for some reason, it seems like you. It's one thing for somebody to be, just because of the color of the skin, be ignorant, be prejudiced, right? That's one thing. That's just slap them in the head. It's another thing when a country as a whole, or systems, have been set up to take and keep people down. And regardless of what anybody wants to say here, we're still seeing all systematic racism does not exist. It did up until the 70s. If you think there aren't vestiges of that, there's still sundown towns where if you're black, you do not need to be in that town after sundown. Those still exist in this country. So again, we are a lot better than what we used to be, but it's not perfect. No country is going to be, but it's not perfect whatsoever. A lot of those systems have been done away with on the federal level. There are some states or even localities where some of those types of things still exist, but they're not the majority anymore. So we are getting better, thankfully. But it just blows my mind. People, oh yeah, no, they got the same. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Like, because unless you take an objective look at shit, then you don't fucking know. You got to take an objective look, take a look at history and stuff like that. So we are better. It seems like Brazil, just even the 5 minutes of research I did, it seems like there's still a massive amount of work that needs to be done in regards to in regards to race, because just again, and I pulled up like four articles, along with the lyrics of the song, and basically a racial democracy, basically, which is it's an ideological thing, but it seems to be they don't have any place within the social democracy from what I've read. They're in, or the racial democracy, they're in Brazil, or at least very little compared to people with less melanin, shall we say. So I enjoyed this. I thoroughly enjoyed this. This was just absolutely stunning. Hope y'all enjoyed this. Y'all be good to each other. Love yourselves. Peace.